Well, Britta, one of the other threats that we're going to have to monitor with this storm is going to be the winds. Live look over in Indianapolis, which is right now under a high wind warning. This is going on until 7 o'clock this evening. Indy could see winds gusting up to 65 miles per hour, and that means power outages are possible. And we could also see some downed trees as well as some downed power lines. Now, all of this is happening because we have a large change in pressure between a strengthening low and a very strong high that is moving right now across the Midwest here. So take a look right now at the sustained winds as well as those winds that are gusting up right now. So over in the St. Louis area, we have winds gusting up to right around 37 miles per hour. We have sustained winds at about 22 miles per hour. It is a windy morning for those of you in Kansas City right now. You're gusting up to right around 28 miles per hour. And over in Louisville, right now you have winds that are gusting up to right around 24 miles per hour. This is the reason why many of you in that light blue shaded area or in that wind advisory. However, we do have high wind warnings in effect for those of you in the northwest section of the Buckeye State, as well as those of you in Indianapolis. So when could we see some of the strongest winds today? It's largely going to be towards the latter half of this morning and into this afternoon. I mean, Peoria, Madison, Fort Wayne, these are all going to be places where we could end up seeing winds gusting up to right around 40 to 50 miles per hour. And then for those of you in places like St. Louis, we're expecting the wind to finally start tapering off later on this afternoon. And for those of you in Pittsburgh, get ready for some of those strong winds because we will likely end up seeing those winds really kick up just as the evening rush is starting. And then in the overnight hours, you're going to hear that wind go back and forth for those of you in Madison, Wisconsin, as well as those of you in Erie, Pennsylvania, and Cleveland. Also can I end up seeing some strong winds as well. Look at those sustained winds right around 24 miles per hour, Britta.
And onto the snow aspect of this triple threat Thursday. You know, parts of the upper Midwest, places like Kansas City, even Dubuque, Iowa, we could see some winter weather. Kansas City has been really interesting. We've seen everything from rain crossing over to snow. Now we're actually back to light rain, and we could pick up about an inch of slushy accumulation by the time we work our way through the rest of our Thursday. Just nasty driving conditions. When you have that transfer of rain to sleet to snow, it does create a slushy effect on the roads, and that is very tricky to grab traction. Des Moines, literally National Weather Service in Des Moines was begging for snow in their discussion a couple days ago because they just haven't seen a lot of winter weather. Well, they're sitting at 35 degrees, so most of that not really sticking to the ground. It's really just a rain event, but we likely will turn over to snow on the backside of this low. Right now, we are tracking some snow from La Crosse into Green Bay, and that's likely where we'll see some more sizable accumulation will be up across portions of Wisconsin. Taking a look at the radar out of Kansas City, what you see is snow, but currently the observations at the airport registering rain with temperatures around 34 degrees. So, excuse me, definitely some nasty conditions. And again, it's that transfer that makes it so tough to be dealing with these road conditions. As we take you up to the northeast of Kansas City, look at Des Moines, a little bit of a dry slot. Jason, that'll mess with your accumulations, that's for sure. So, for the folks in Des Moines that have been wanting winter weather, you are going to see a little bit, but it'll be interesting to see how things pan together.
Yeah, and the storm is going to continue to have some life in it after this morning. So the severe threat is really going to be breaking up into two parts. I mean, one we're going to see across the Midwest. The other one we're going to see towards the southeast. So for those of you in places like the northern west portion of Ohio and the neighboring Illinois, or I should say not Illinois, Indiana, that is where we do have a chance at seeing some severe weather. And for those of you on the southern end, and that includes those of you in the Florida's Panhandle, as well as southern Alabama, you could end up seeing some not only rain showers, but also, some thunderstorms as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a messy day across the country. So there's a look at that, potential for severe weather. Definitely lower today, but across the Florida Panhandle, southern Alabama, southern Georgia, we'll have rumbles of thunder. This morning, we're not tracking any severe weather, particularly in this area. In fact, the only severe thunderstorm warning that we have right now is in western portions of Kentucky. Up to the north, this is what Jason was mentioning, the threat of seeing these strong winds. Indiana to Ohio, these winds are going to be ripping. We haven't really set into it, but we have a high wind warning out for Indianapolis. So with winds that could be as strong as 60, even 70 miles per hour, that's enough to cause some isolated damage. So Again, this is something that you definitely want to keep in mind as these strong winds are going to be building in throughout the day.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be the type of weather that you're going to want to be flying through as well. You know, we talked about the wind to the surface, but when you get a loft, I mean, that basically means
that
you're
like, why did I take this flight?
Yeah, it's like, whoa, okay, what's going on there? You know,
I'm Amy Freeze. Welcome to Fox Weather's YouTube page. We have more great videos on the way, so make sure to subscribe to stay updated on all things weather.